Welcome back to the Bulldog Insider. Time for Coach's Corner, brought to you by Cooper Chase Construction. All right, Coach, you knew Toledo came in averaging 51 points per game. You held Toledo well below its average, and if not for those two late touchdowns, it would have been an even more impressive score. How did you figure out how to limit their offense?
Well, I thought Coach Watts and our defensive staff did a great job of putting a plan together, and then the guys played really hard. You know, they ran to the ball, tackled well in the open field, didn't allow any explosive plays, which is one of the goals going in. And, you know, but the guys played really hard, got the guys on the ground, because Toledo is a very explosive offense, and guys did a good job.
Toledo is a good team, and it's been a good team for a while. You mentioned after the game last night that there was a chip on your shoulder from what happened back in 2016. You weren't here for that game, but 23 of your players were. Was last night's game for them?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's not completely for them, but it was something that we had in the back of our mind and that we talked about a little bit of, you know, the pride and tradition of Bulldog football. That really wasn't indicative of what Bulldog football is all about. When we went there and played a couple years ago, I wasn't there, but it still means a lot to these guys in this room and the people that were on that team and the fans. So, you know, it wasn't completely what we were playing for, but it was just a little bit of motivation going in.
You scored on your opening drive last night for the third time in 4 games. Marcus was very efficient, 7 of 7, and he completed passes to 5 different receivers. Could you have asked for a better start to the game?
No, it was a pretty methodical drive. Ran the ball a little bit, threw it well. You know, that's the way we always want to start for sure, to try to create some momentum. I thought Marcus overall did a great job all night long of managing the offense.
Jordan Mims was terrific last night. He led you in rushing, he led you in receiving. How much better can he be? Where is his development right now?
Well, he does a good job pretty much in everything. He's a good pass protector as well. You know, maybe breaking a few more tackles, you know, of guys with their arms around his legs, of running through those. But he's very solid, catches the ball well, runs well. He's an all-around very good back.
On that play, that 47-yard touchdown reception, he and Marcus both said they saw something at the line of scrimmage that they were going to score on that play. There was all green in front of him when he caught that pass. What did you see from the sideline?
Well, they were set up for exactly what we designed to play for, and great block by Jameer as well, and then got some guys out in front. And so there was one of those that was a screen, and then there was another one that was a designed pass play that we kind of had their backer stuck in the box, and he didn't get over the top. And then once Jameer took his guy inside, it was all green from there.
Speaking of running backs, we've talked about numerous times how you have so much talent back there at that position. You had Ronnie Rivers back there last night. You had him in on special teams, and late in the game he got some carries. How nice was it to see him back in the fold?
Great, it really is. You know, it's been a long road since he hurt his foot in the spring, and so he's worked really, really hard. And so the plan is to kind of get him a little bit of action. You know, you got to get back into game shape since he missed all of camp, but he's been working really hard with our strength and conditioning coach. But it was nice to see him get in there and show some flashes of what we know he's all about.
You mentioned kind of bringing him along. Is that why he didn't get any carries until the third quarter? You kind of wanted to stick with what's been working for you so far?
Yeah, you know, we really just played him on scout team last week, you know, to get the feel of the game again. You know, you just don't come off of being injured and then think you're just going to jump into a game. So put him into some scout team stuff last week against our defense to get a feel for it. Put him back there as a punt returner as well. But I think now we see where he is, and we're going to continue to progress him.
Time of possession was pretty even last night. Seeing the outcome, are you surprised by that?
Felt like we had the ball a lot, and so I thought we probably had an advantage on it, but it was pretty even. And you know, but we scored kind of quick sometimes as well, you know, and then the defense scored, and you know, great play by Michael Walker to bat the ball up in the air and take it for a touchdown. But it was a hard-fought game. It really was. I mean, everything that we did, we had to earn, and the defense did a really nice job of slowing them down.
I'll ask you about the defense in a second, but one more question about the offense. You put up 554 total yards, season high. What does that number mean to you?
Nothing. I mean, they're just yards. I mean, there were some explosive plays which are nice to see, but we don't play for stats. You know, Marcus had, you know, I think it was a very balanced effort, you know, and No negative play, not really any negative plays. We had no penalties on offense, which is big. We stayed on schedule, and that's something we always talk about. I think the second week in a row we haven't had a 3rd and 10 or plus, which means we're staying on schedule, which you're going to have more success if you can stay in those situations.
You had 5 sacks in the game. In the first 3 games of the season, your defense only had 3 sacks total. What was different about last night's game?
We just decided to blitz more. You know, there's different philosophies you go into each game with, and especially in the second half, we started dialing up some pressures, and I was able to get there, and the guys did a nice job of executing those. And I thought Coach Watts did a nice job of calling them at the right times.
There was a play, Coach, in the second quarter when Toledo's quarterback was hit helmet to helmet, legal play, but he was knocked out of the game. Did your plan change when Toledo had to put its backup quarterback in there, who ended up playing most of the rest of the way?
No, it didn't, because I think their philosophy is the same, is if your first or second read isn't there, take off and run. And their guy tried to do that as well. But I thought our guys did a nice job of staying really disciplined in the rush lanes, and then forcing the quarterback a certain area, which we had pursuit ready for them if they were going to break the pocket.
In the fourth quarter, you're up 49-13. Your starters are still in the game. Why?
Just for a little bit, you know. Then we made some. I know those guys are really explosive, and we wanted to make sure that it was in hand for sure. But then, you know, most of the fourth quarter, I think a lot of backups played, and that's when they really scored their 2 touchdowns.
So, Coach, you put that one away. You're 3-1 as you end non-conference play. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel good that we're 3-1 going into conference play, but now it's not that it hasn't been for real, but now conference play obviously is big for us, and so explosive Nevada team who can score a lot of points, and we're on the road again. It seems like we're always on the road these days, but it was nice coming back home last night. It felt like the first game of the year to a lot of our players, no, it's good. I mean, it's good to be 3-1, and we've had, you know, different challenges in each game, and so that's been good learning experiences for us, and now it's league time.
And we'll ask Coach Tedford about that when the Bulldog Insider returns.